Hello and welcome to this brand new video series. It's going to be a long one and it's about CentrifyCLI. Before we go and explain this, let's go ahead and talk about another Centrify set of API resources. So if you use today Centrify Server Suite, there's an underlying SDK that powers many of the components like the PowerShell access, the SDK for audit that powers PowerShell for audit. The SDK for Access also powers AD Edit and some upcoming nice enhancements in the future. So ultimately, if you're using Access Manager or any of those tools, they're using SDK as well. For Privileged Access Service, everything is on running on REST APIs, and this is going to be our focus. But there are also the PowerShell samples, and our focus of today or in the future days is CentrifyCLI. There's also additional resources like the Centrify developer website, the documentation, and GitHub. So the developer website, for those who are familiar, it contains information about the APIs. So that's one of the resources that I, coach people to use. But keep in mind that since Centrify has very aggressive release schedules for the cloud side, sometimes the documentation can lag behind. But CentrifyCLI is going to help us in some of the tricks like using the browser's developer tools. So that being said, what is CentrifyCLI? CentrifyCLI is a REST API client for the Centrify platform. In this particular illustration here, it shows a end user of the platform coming in from either a Windows, Mac, or Linux machine, aided by any of the preferred scripting languages, and it uses REST API to communicate over to talk to the platform. So this is usually there's several layers of authentication, authorization, but at a high level, when you're authenticating interactively, you will be hit by the portal authentication policy. If you are using the CentrifyCLI web application, which is going to be a OAuth 2 confidential client, is going to be tied to authentication and the delegated authorization to the APIs that the user can access. That is in addition to the user in question or service or container having the ability to run that application. So ultimately, this makes available the world of the platform in your hands. And some of the key benefits are that Centrify develops at API first. So sometimes functionality may be in the product, but it's not necessarily exposed through the GUI. So in order for you to use CentrifyCLI, you need to have a Centrify tenant, either hyperscalable on-premises or a SaaS tenant. Be familiar with some scripting. I'm going to be using PowerShell here. Be able to read the developer website. Have the CentrifyCLI application installed. We'll cover that with bootstrapping. Understand or try to understand JSON notation like I do. Have a basic understanding of ANSI SQL, or if you can use the report builder that makes your life much easier, and that you are familiar with the hierarchy of objects in the Centrify Privileged Access Service, in which, in order for you to be able to access an object, you not only should be able to view it at the object level, but at the parent object level or a set level. So being able to troubleshoot things like that is going to make your life easy. So what is it that we want to accomplish is to have a long series that allows you to use CentrifyCLI to perform functional capabilities in the platform. In the next video, we're going to just obtain and install it, and we're going to have this playlist open so we can add new things as we go. So see you in the next video.